Hey friends, Diana here. This is a training for Tuesday's training and it is not live this week, unfortunately. However, I want to share with you 4 steps for killer testimonials. You see, the thing is that we all know that we need testimonials. We need testimonials on our websites, in all our marketing, right? Because that is proof. It is proof to our potential prospects about the results that we can give. However, sometimes getting those testimonials actually falls to the bottom of our to-do list. We feel icky about asking for them. We don't know how to ask for them. And so they just don't get done. But I can tell you, I want to share with you a real simple 4-step process for getting those testimonials that you so desperately need on your websites and other places, but that won't take you a ton of time, won't leave you feeling awkward and slimy or putting pressure on your clients. Are you in? Good. Okay, so here it is. First of all, when is a good time to ask for a testimonial? I always say the best time to ask for a testimonial first of all, before you finished working with a client, when they have just said something that is positive about the work that you do. And a good friend of mine, even, it's a rather famous person. They met at lunch, and this gentleman said to my friend, that was an amazing presentation that you did. And he went, "Excuse me, would you mind if we videotape this?" And the guy said, "Well, of course not. If I'm going to say it, I'll videotape it." And so he actually interrupted the man at the time, but he got this amazing killer testimonial. So when is a good time? Before you finished working with them. Don't go back afterwards. And whenever they are saying something positive about the results that they've gotten with you. So here are the 4 steps. First of all, if it's before, you want to ask, for feedback. Simple. And I'm going to share with you some questions that you can use to ask for feedback. The second is you want to review that feedback. You want to look at the words that your clients actually used. That is really, really, really important, okay? You want to review it. You want to write it, draft it. So you're going to take their words from here. You're going to draft it. You're going to send the draft in email to them, and you're going to ask for their approval. And then the 4th, you're just going to post it wherever is required. Ask, draft, email, post. Pretty simple, right? Okay. And then I can hear you. I can almost hear you saying, "Well, how do I ask, Diana?" Right? All right. Here's some great feedback questions, and I'm going to read them to you. Now, if you would like this document here, which is called Pack Your Marketing with Killer Testimonials, send me an email, diana@dianalidstone.com, and I'd be happy to send you this document. It talks about these 4 steps. It gives you scripts, and it gives you the outline for all of these questions. So it's a really, really handy tool. So just, email me at diana@dianalidstone.com and put testimonials, please, in the subject line. So here are some great questions to ask for feedback. What hesitations did you initially have working with me? So actually what you're doing is you're taking the client back to when they first committed to working with you. Now, I've heard people say things, "Well, I was afraid it was going to cost a lot of money and I wasn't going to get the return on investment," right? So that's their objection. Well, imagine if you had a testimonial that overcame that objection before somebody even raised it, right? So I have a testimonial on my website about how one of my clients said that the investment working with me was the best thing that she ever did. Okay, that's a pretty good testimonial, right? So what hesitation? So in that hesitation, you're trying to overcome objections. So if the person says, I thought it was a lot of money and I didn't know if I was going to get return on my investment. And then you might take them down the path and say, well, what do you think now? And so that could be the whole testimonial. So that's one question. Number 2, what results have you achieved since we started working together? Now, results. If you know me, I talk about results, right? Sometimes the results aren't exactly what you anticipate. So I have a client that I'm working with. They have a multi-million-dollar, and I asked what were the results. I was asking them not long ago, and she said, I just feel so much more confident. And so then I had to ask her, what do you mean by that? Where do you feel more confident, et cetera, et cetera. And that wasn't the result that I expected. I expected her to say, oh, we're so happy now that we have a marketing system in place. Or, I go to conferences and we actually get leads. So sometimes the results aren't what you're looking for. But as often as possible, the idea is to get tangible results. The idea is to get numbers, or how can you translate them into numbers? So again, I'll talk about this particular company, and we were able to quantify that initially they were going to conferences and getting 1 or 2 leads. So they worked with me, we repositioned the brand and the business, and they came home with 36 qualified leads. Now, that's quantifiable, right? So what can you do? Can you save people money? Can you save them time? Can you save them from hiring somebody? What quantifiable results can you get? Okay, so what results? That's question number 2. Now, question number 3, what did you like best about working with me? What did you like best? And again, ask the question, and you may have to pause and be quiet. You may have to pause and actually wait for them to think about it, and that's okay. Okay? Here's another question. How else have you benefited from our working together? Well, you may find that there's one big result, but there were subsequent smaller results, right? So I could say, again, this multi-million-dollar company, her first thing that came to mind was about the confidence. Even though we didn't discuss it, we discussed it later, that I actually saved them probably somewhere between 80 to 100,000 because they realized working with me that they did not have to hire a full-time person in a position that they thought they were going to. Okay? So saving money, making money, right? Where is it going to be? Would you recommend me in my services? And if so, why and to whom? This is a great question to be asking more than once through the process when you're working with someone. If you know they're going off to a conference, if you know they are having an association meeting, that is a great question to ask then, because it keeps it top of mind, and they're going to this meeting or they're going to a networking and they may go, oh yeah, that person could really use working with you. And here's some more questions. Is there anything you would like to see done differently? If so, what? Maybe they would like to work with you more often. And you could say, Well, that's great. I love that feedback because, you know, maybe their contract working with you or the program working with you has come to an end. And you could say, well, how about the next round? We modify that for you and get you exactly what it is you need, right? Or maybe they would like to see less of this, more of that. You know, really kind of dig into it. Great question. What is the most important thing people should know about working with me? So this year at my shift event, I had a videographer, and it was his mandate to videotape some testimonials during our breaks. And one of my private clients, I guess this was one of the questions that he asked, and one of my private clients said, you know, working with Diana is brutally honest. And I went, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And you know what? If you're hiring a business coach or if you're hiring someone to help you, you don't want to pussyfoot around. You want to get to the meat of the action. You want to get to accomplish what it is that you want. And so being brutally honest, for me, totally fit into my brand because that is one of my core values. And I went, okay, yeah, I'm being what I am. I'm being truthful to myself. So what are your core values and what should people know about working with you? And then the last question, is there anything else you'd like to add? So you ask for feedback. So I gave you some questions to ask for feedback. Now you take this feedback and you go back and you draft. And the testimonial probably should have these 3 sections in it. Hold on, let me just flip this. So you want to know what their situation was before, what they did during, and after. And it can be one sentence. So before I started working with Diana, I was so overwhelmed in my business. I had no time to work on my business. I was working in my business. Okay, you get a snapshot of what it was like. Then I hired Diana and we started working privately. After, I realized, you know, I'm talking about this person, she was overwhelmed. Privately, she realized that she had to learn how to delegate and how to leverage in her business. They were new leadership skills that she learned. A, B, C, and then the results. The results were that she was actually able to take an additional week's holiday during the year. She was able to reduce her number of hours that she worked per week, and she stopped working on weekends. Before, during, after, and the result. So maybe 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So I hope that this little video about how to create killer testimonials, how to pack your marketing with testimonials has been helpful. And if you would like some more help on that, and if you would like this document, simply send me an email, diana@dianalidstone.com. Till next week, take care. Bye for now.